Tonight, the wind shifted not by weather. By spirit something invisible was broken. A line was crossed that cannot be undone. You weren't supposed to know, but heaven. A private investigator was watching you. Knew a man was watching you, not with love, with orders, with silence, with eyes trained to see what you didn't show. He wasn't random, he was sent to follow you, to document you, to catch something damaging, but what he caught instead was divine interference. They hired him with a clear goal, not justice, not business destruction. They called it surveillance. But it was a trap, and you were supposed to fall into it, but you didn't, because I stepped in, because God redirected the path. The man had files, recordings, images. You never posed for moments, you never agreed to details you didn't share, but all of it was real, and all of it was used against you until the watcher was caught and everything fell apart. Not for you, for them. The report was leaked to someone unexpected, and now it's being passed around rooms. They never wanted it in you. Don't even know all the names, but heaven does, and now so do the authorities. The man is talking, not the man is talking because he wants to, because he's scared. Scared of what he saw, scared of what he recorded, scared of what followed him home. He tried to erase it, but it was already saved, already duplicated, already delivered to hands that care more about justice than secrets. He didn't know who you were until strange things started happening to him. He couldn't sleep. He heard your name in dreams. He saw flashes of your face in mirrors, and then the arrest came, quite sudden, undeniable, and now the lies are unraveling. The one who paid for your downfall, they're no longer hiding, because their name is listed. Page, you're winning it. After page, connected by payment, by instruction, by intent. You didn't ask for this battle, but you're still the one winning it, because the trap wasn't just broken, it reversed everything they tried to take. Is now exposing them. You were supposed to be ruined, instead you're being revealed, elevated, cleared. A folder was found in the car, your name written in bold on the front, but inside their voice there, conversations there, emails. One of them laughed while planning it. Now they haven't laughed in days. They know what's coming, and they know you're not behind it. You never even knew, but heaven did, and heaven is speaking. Now the same investigator who followed you, he's now being followed. His phone tapped, his movements tracked by the very system they used against you. This is divine irony. This is righteous reversal. You weren't paranoid, you were being watched. You weren't imagining things, you were under pressure, but that pressure turned into proof. Someone you called a friend was feeding him your habits, where you went, who you spoke to, what you said. They thought you'd never know, but now their name is on the same list. Their text messages are being reviewed, their bank transfers under investigation. They traded your trust for money is gone, and your protection is stronger than ever. The woman who smiled in your face now hiding behind legal advice. She didn't expect it to backfire, but everything they built is the truth is faster burning. One of them disappeared. They left the country, but their name is still echoing in the documents. They can run, but the truth is faster. There's no escaping the light now. They tried to corner you, and now they're surrounded, not by people, by consequences, by truths they can't spin, by a paper trail that doesn't lie. One of the cameras they used malfunctioned the night you were followed, and what it caught instead was the person planting false evidence. Their face, their actions clear as day. It's now evidence, and you're not on trial. They are this. It's now evidence. Isn't chaos, it's divine exposure. They Thought they had time, but time has turned against them. They're making calls now, trying to cover tracks, but it's too late. Their words are empty, their plans have collapsed, and the people they manipulated, they're starting to speak. A chain reaction has begun, and it leads to you, but not to punish, to restore, to elevate, to clear your name in front of those who doubted. God isn't just protecting you, He's proving who you are. Every attempt to ruin you is now a testimony. The files they created are being used against them, their own fingerprints, their own voices, their own choices, and your name, it stand untouched even when you didn't see it. Even when you felt alone, I was surrounding you. We were watching while they watched. We recorded what they recorded, and now it's their recordings that will expose them. A woman is about to confess, not out of guilt, out of fear. A woman is about to confess because she knows the light is coming. She thought she could stay invisible, but the light is shining in places no one thought it would reach. Your grace has become your defense, and your silence has become your sword. They planned in darkness, but you were preserved in light. A lawyer is stepping away from the case because even they don't want to be involved anymore. The energy is too heavy, the lies too deep, and your presence too protected. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself not for war, for revelation. People you never suspected, their named documents you never saw, they're archived, and every page points to one truth: you were the target, but they're the ones falling. The man in the car. Man in the car, he said your name before the arrest, said it like a prayer, because even he felt something was wrong. He wanted to quit the job, but the money was too high. Now he wishes he walked away. Now he knows he crossed a line, a divine one, and that kind of line never erases. You weren't supposed to survive this, but you didn't just survive. You rose, you kept walking, you kept breathing. You kept trusting, and that trust is now turning into protection made visible. They'll say they didn't mean to hurt you, but their actions say otherwise, and heaven listens to action, not just words. Memory card. A memory card was found hidden, labeled final record. It holds the voice of someone you loved, giving instructions, not just to follow you but to break you. But the card stopped working. The data corrupted, just like their plan, because God blocked what was never meant to reach its target. You were spared, but they are being exposed. You'll be mentioned in a courtroom, but not as a suspect, as the one who was wronged, as the one whose spirit stayed clean while theirs turned to ash. You were a test, and they failed. Now you are the light, and they are the you are the light. Warning, the time for hiding is over. What they tried to bury is rising in your favor. You are no longer watched in silence. You are being watched in awe. You are being lifted in truth. You are being cleared without needing to speak, because heaven already spoke for you, and its word cannot be undone. Type amen to receive this confirmation. They never thought it would end like this. They never imagined the storm would turn, but it has, and it's not just wind, holy fire anymore. It's fire, holy fire, burning every lie, every trap, every shadow. You were the target. Now you are the testimony. They spent weeks collecting dirt, but the dirt never stuck, because your soul was clean and heaven saw it. All one of them used to call you family. Now their name is sitting in a sealed file, tied to money transfers, tied to false statements, tied to betrayal. You once hugged them, but they handed over your location for nothing more than personal gain. Now the very person they trusted with your information is turning on them. The investigator is spilling. The investigator is spilling names. Names, and the first one he said was hers. He described her face, her voice, her instructions he confessed not to clear his name but to save his soul, because what he saw in you frightened him not. Because of fear, because of purity, because he realized he was being paid to break someone who never broke anyone. He kept the voice notes, he kept the payments, but now they're being submitted as evidence. You don't even have to fight. The truth is speaking louder than any defense. Another woman, quiet but involved, is now missing. Her family hasn't seen her in days, but before she disappeared, she left behind a message. Your name was in it 3 times. The tone fearful, broken, honest, that your name was in it. Message is now with a legal team. It's being reviewed, and in a few days it will be presented and everything will shift. Again, you don't even know who all the names are, but heaven does, and now so do the courts. There's a hidden file labeled final move. They thought it was clever, but the moment they printed it, it became evidence. Inside it, dates, places, details. No outsider should have had proof that someone very close to you was feeding. They used your trust. The machine, someone who held your hand, was holding a knife behind your back. Their face will shock you, but don't panic. It's not betrayal, it's freedom. Because once you know, you'll never depend on them again. They used your trust, but now they've lost everyone's. One man involved was seen outside a courthouse, not to testify, to beg, to ask that his name not be released, but heaven doesn't do secrets, not anymore. He's being watched, not by you, by the same people he thought he could manipulate. They found out he was planning a second attack, and they shut it down before it started. You never saw. They tried to hide it, but we did. The camera they tried to hide in your space, it malfunctioned, and the footage turned black except for one clip. That clip is now in evidence, and it proves your innocence. It proves the setup, the fake trail, the edited sound bite. It proves your truth. The legal system is shifting. This case has become something bigger than you. It's exposing a network, one you never asked to be part of, but they made you the center. Now they're watching. It falls, and you're not doing anything, just standing, just breathing. And still justice is moving like a flood. Emails have surfaced. Your name was in the subject line next to words like leverage, disrupt, and final report, but now those emails are no longer private. They're on a courtroom screen. They're in the hands of people who don't care about their power, only the truth, and the truth is burning through them. Your name will be cleared. Lies. A journalist caught wind of the case, and they're watching closely, but don't be afraid. Your name will not be dragged. It will be cleared fully, and the ones who spoke against you, they will be asked to explain on record. In front of eyes they can't manipulate. This isn't gossip, this is divine order. This isn't drama, this is exposure. You are placed in the center of a setup, but God flipped the table. Now you're standing. They are scrambling. The man who confessed said something strange. He said when he was watching you, he felt frozen. Like something was protecting you. He tried to cross a certain line and couldn't, like invisible hands stopped him. He didn't understand it then, but he was never in control. Understands it? No, he was never in control. He was being used, and now that use is finished, the camera is off, the game is over, and the files are in the hands of truth. A woman on the inside flipped. She gave her access card to the wrong person, and now she's been removed from the case. Fired, shaken. Exposed. Her email led to a Dropbox folder. Your images were in it, your voice clips edited to sound different, but the Originals were found and they prove you were never guilty of. This is not an accident. Anything. This is not an accident. This is spiritual war ending in divine victory. They tried to steal your peace, now they can't find their own. They tried to shame your name, now they hide their own. They tried to move against you, now they can't move forward because divine justice has a memory, and that memory never forgets. You've been still, and the stillness worked. You didn't need revenge, you just needed faith, and now faith has opened doors no lie can shut. More names are coming forward. People you knew, people you trusted, some were quiet participants, exposed. Others loud, but now they all sit in the same category. Exposed. A second private investigator has surfaced. He worked under a false name, but his accounts were traced, his emails tracked, and now he's being contacted by law enforcement. He hasn't responded because he's terrified. Not of jail, of exposure. His name will ruin other names, people with status, with titles, with money, but none of it will work now because the light has arrived. And no lie can live in it. This case is the light has arrived. No longer just a case, it's a movement. It's a moment in time, and your name is becoming a symbol of protection, of purity, of divine preservation. A man tried to scrub your name from the documents, but the system wouldn't let him. It auto-saved, it auto-sent to a server he couldn't control, and now that file is part of the evidence. You don't even have to lift a hand. God is lifting the curtain. The one who once whispered about you will now whisper to them. God is lifting the curtain. Lawyer, the one who smiled in public and plotted in private, is losing followers, losing influence, losing ground, while you are gaining everything they tried to take. You will not be dragged, you will be delivered, not quietly, publicly, not slowly, suddenly, because when God moves, he moves in full. The pain you felt, it wasn't wasted. The betrayal you experienced, it wasn't overlooked. It was all collected, and now heaven is spending it's spending it on your behalf. This is spiritual. It's all collected. Reimbursement for every night you couldn't sleep, for every time you doubted your intuition, for every moment you felt surrounded by things you couldn't name. Now they have names, now they have faces, now they have consequences, and you have clarity. You have elevation, you have freedom. The final file they created is being printed now, but not for attack, for the final file they created. Evidence. Your story will be used to change policies, to expose systems, to awaken others, because your presence disturbed their darkness, and now that light cannot be put out. Archangel Michael says, this isn't the end, this is your beginning. The letter that was never meant to reach you is now in your hands. The one who warned them to take you down is now the one being dragged in, not by force, by exposure, by truth, by divine. Your beginning. Alignment. You don't need to say anything. Let the evidence speak, let the names fall, let the system run its course. Because your feet are clean, your record is clear, and your spirit is unshaken. You were followed, but now you're being followed by favor. You were studied, but now you're being seen for who you really are, not what they edited, not what they imagined, but who heaven created. Type Amen if you receive this final confirmation, because this isn't justice. It's elevation, it's divine reversal, and it's already begun.